But when it comes to the stock market, the role of algorithms and some of these other factors that have nothing to do with fundamentals in many ways seem to be stacked against the retail investor.
Yeah, well, I mean, we think we're seeing that in droves here. I mean, we're focused on the U.S. cannabis space. They're forced to list up in Canada at the CSC, where there is naked shorting, where it's legal, or evidently it's legal. You have the U.S. custodians from J.P. Morgan to Pershing to last week it was Vanguard pulling custodians so institutions can't get to it. So you have a 95% retail base right now, and 75% of the volume that we're seeing on most days of U.S. plan-touching securities are coming from the algos. And for a long time, we saw it, but we didn't know what to make of it. We saw it. They were pernicious. They were out there every day. They were hitting the sector down. Not the reason that they're down. Algos aren't the reason these things are down, but they certainly amplify trends. They certainly create dislocations. And we've seen a large quant fund. Finally, last week, we had a conversation. We were told that there's a large quant fund that's out there, that's been out there, targeting retail pockets of the stock market through what's called a volatility factor trade. And they have it on in pretty significant size in U.S. cannabis, MSOS, and those names. They have it on evidently in XBI, which is biotech, and on the ARC names as well. Algos don't know math. They only know levels, and that's what we're seeing, I think.
It's fascinating to me, and you got to walk us through this a little bit more. So you're saying it's not necessarily pernicious, but if they're being programmed a certain way, because algos can only do what they're programmed to do, it seems like they're being deliberately programmed to create even more havoc and more destruction, particularly in names that might be vulnerable. To me, it looks like Wall Street engineering these stocks to go lower, thinking that investors will blink and bail out, making their job even easier to make money on the short side.
I mean, listen, as we're sitting here, we're looking at the fundamentals troughing in the first quarter. We're looking at New Jersey leading the tri-state, leading the East Coast online. We're very excited now. We look at these multiples back, through COVID lows, but the algos are out there every day. And when you don't have institutions to set and steady price levels, these things are going to keep going till the trend changes or some of the inputs change. We're working on this. We're looking at it. We see it. Now that we know where it's coming from a large multi-strat hedge fund. It's not just U.S. cannabis. There are other consumer-laden sectors that they seem to be targeting. But we're gonna follow the fundies. We like to say over time the market weighs and traders vote. We think that over time that the market will prove us right.
I got less than a minute to go. What role should the SEC be playing in all of this?
It's a great question. I think you got to look at some of these things. Like I said, there's nothing illegal about this, but certainly are they manipulating prices? I think that you can make an argument that they are. It would be great if the SEC can get involved and look at some of these pernicious types of quant trading that's out there, but not holding our breath.
Yeah, I wish they would. You know what? I feel like, a lot of people came into the market with the best of intentions. They just want to make money. They want to be part of it. The greatest money-making machine in history. They use common sense. Legalization of marijuana seems like a smart investing thesis. You shouldn't have to be down on your money because of quants or anything else. Todd, we'll check in on you again soon. Thanks you so much, because I want to let people know you're one of the most successful people in the stock market who got into the cannabis space. So you know what you're talking about. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
It's